में मार्गदर्शन देने के लिए ऐसे व्यक्ति की हमें ज़रूरत होती है जो हमें इंडिया में स्मार्ट ग्रिड और एनर्जी ट्रांजिशन की पॉलिसी को प्रैक्टिस तक जिन्होंने पहुंचाया है, और ऐसे ही व्यक्ति आज हमारे बीच मंच पर मौजूद है। सो आइए अब आमंत्रित करते हैं अलका यादव जी, डायरेक्टर ऑफ गेत्री, कि आप स्वागत प्रवचन संबोधन करें। माननीय अलका यादव जी।
Namaskar. Good afternoon. Esteemed keynote speaker, Ms. Reema Suri, Executive Director, India Smart Grid Forum, Mr. Sumit, the Associate Partner from Climate Collective Foundation, young entrepreneurs, innovators, startup founders, industry colleagues and participants. Wish you all a very warm welcome to this very special session that we have on powering innovation for net zero. A word which actually sets us all thinking. It happens to be the key word, the buzzword these days going around, which is innovation. Yep. Right. So I'm sure all of you will agree that innovation has been the driving force behind any transformation. कोई भी transformation entire world में देख लीजिए, some innovation is going to be beyond it. And today, the entire world is collectively striving towards net zero. And in such a scenario, innovation cannot be optional. It has to be essential. Because, challenges like climate change, energy security, grid resilience, these all are demanding new ideas, new technologies, new business models. And incremental thinking alone cannot bring solutions. What will bring solutions is what I call, it is a term which I generally give, is bold experimentation and entrepreneurial energy, and especially from the startup founders and the innovators who are willing to actually challenge the status quo. Now, India's energy transition provides a very unique opportunity with a tremendous growth in RE, electric mobility, energy storage, also digitalization of the grid, and decentralization of energy resources. The power sector is actually providing a very fertile ground for innovation. And it is in this context that today's session assumes great significance, great importance. Through this Electron Vibe Open Innovation Platform, which is implemented in partnership with the Climate Collective Foundation, utilities like the Gujarat Urja Vikas Nigam Limited have this opportunity of engaging with startups and innovators and coming up with real-time solutions for their challenges. We have, actually, I think I should credit Electron Vibe that since its inception, it has positioned itself as a very strong bridge between the startups and the utilities, enabling the startups to move from ideas to pilots to business cases. And I'm very happy to share that GUVNL has actively participated in the Electron Vibe 2025 as the anchor discom, with focused problem statements, which are basically related to energy storage. We had one on solar and DRE, as well as power theft detection. All these areas, I can say, are very critical for a reliable, efficient, and sustainable grid. So this journey of how GUVNL got associated with Climate Collective, I'm sure Mr. Sumit will take you through that journey, but I will take a small credit because it all started with the national conference. There was a seminar we were conducting at Gateway, and that is where Climate Collective was also there. They were presenting something, and we got talking, and from there we built up this, that yes, GUVNL should be the anchor discom for 2025. So 1 year of rigorous work between GUVNL and Climate Collective Foundation, very nice work all of them have done. And I should say that the response that we received from the startup ecosystem has been very encouraging, with strong participation and high quality solutions that have come up. So today we are all here to actually celebrate the spirit of innovation by felicitating the winners and the finalists of this Electron Vibe 2025. The huge credit goes to all the participants who have participated here, and they have actually demonstrated their huge technical capability as well as the deep understanding of the utilities needs. So this is a culmination of a year-long effort, and a big round of applause to all the startups who have participated, all who are here, and also who couldn't make it. This was sort of a last-minute addition to the vibrant Gujarat, so I can understand why they couldn't join us. Now, I would also like to here comment that on Juvenil's part, Juvenil actually believes that the journey for net zero cannot be traveled alone. So by fostering startup industry collaboration, providing access to real-life utility data or the challenges, and enabling pilots as well as providing sort of platforms for engagement, GUVNL is playing a very proactive role in nurturing the startups and the innovators. And because we all believe that they are the ones who are going to make meaningful contribution to the country's in net zero energy transition. So with this note, I think I would like to welcome you all once again. We would be hearing from ma'am. Before we hear from Sumitji, the journey of GUVNL and Electron Vibe, we would hear from the keynote speaker today, who has a huge amount of experience, nearly 2.5 decades of rich experience in the sector. And it is under her leadership that I can say that ISGF has become a very important platform for innovation. So I want all of you to interact, and looking forward to a very good interaction when the 3 finalists will be presenting their solutions that they have provided to GUVNL. So the 3 winners, actually, we have a few finalists, but due to paucity of time, we may actually get to see what the 3 winners have proposed to GUVNL as solutions to the problem statements. So I would request all of you to make it as interactive, question the startups, and try to learn more. So let us all pledge together to collaborate and contribute together to our journey for a sustainable, innovative, and net zero future. Thank you and welcome once again.
Thank you so much, Alka Yadav ma'am, Director of Gateway. Your guidance is always insightful for every one of us. आज हम यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं क्योंकि ये जितने भी सत्र चल रहे हैं उनका मूल मंत्र है We need to go one by one step forward to विकसित भारत and विकसित गुजरात 2047 और उसी दिशा में आगे कदम बढ़ाते हुए Now I request Reena Suri ma'am for a special address, but before she come here, let me give introduction that we must be knowing that how she is doing and what she is doing. So Reena Suri ma'am is the Executive Director of India Smart Grid Forum, a globally recognized think tank established as public-private partnership initiative by the Government of India. With over 24 years of experience in the energy and power sector, she has been the instrumental in the advancing smart grid policies, digital transformations and clean energy adoption in India. Under her leadership, ISGF has emerged as a leading platform for innovation, collaboration and policy dialogue in areas such as smart grids, e-mobility, energy storage and grid interactive buildings. So once again, give a huge round of applause for keynote address by Reena Suri ma'am, Executive Director, India Smart Grid Forum.
You can continue.
You can add.
Yes, ma'am.
You know.
Sure. ठीक है. Yes.
No problem. Very good afternoon. Am I audible? Yeah.
Very good afternoon again. It's a pleasure to be here at the vibrant Gujarat Regional Conference and being part of this Powering Innovation for Net Zero session. And to be here to witness how Gujarat is strengthening the bridge between the utilities and the climate tech startups. I really commend GUVNL, GETRI, and Climate Collective Foundation for anchoring this initiative, Electron Y 2025, and creating a credible pathway for innovation to be deployed for the utilities here in Gujarat. And I would like to add that India Smart Grid Forum has been part of Electron Vive in the initial days, and we really compliment, for the initiatives that have been taken for supporting the utilities in the transition that we are looking for. India's net zero commitment is no longer, about intent. Now we are moving towards an era which is all about execution. And as the renewable energy is, penetrating into the distribution systems and rapidly scaling, power utilities, they're really facing a lot of challenges, operational challenges such as reverse flow of power, grid flexibility, electric vehicles penetrating with, huge charging loads, demanding huge charging loads, system reliability, cybersecurity is a key issue with so many new injection points coming in, and optimal integration of storage solutions and the rooftop solar. So with the next phase of the energy transition that we are looking for, it's going to, it will determine not only the capacity addition, it will also, be all about how intelligently and securely, we can manage our grids and make them, more reliable. And this is where the innovation becomes mission critical. And, I really compliment Electron Vibe model again, after going through how it has been implemented, and Kalkaji also briefed me on, the way it was structured here. It is, it's a very good model that demonstrates the very important principle of innovation that must start with utility-defined statements and not just technology push. And that's 3 problem statements that have been defined by GUVNL, which also resonates the challenges that are being faced by the other utilities, such as, the smart planning and management of the battery energy solutions, the tools to assess safe levels of rooftop solar and the DR penetration, and also the AI-driven energy theft detection, are the key challenges that are there in many utilities that we have been interacting with and they are grappling with today. And by opening these challenges to the startups through a structured, mentored, and program, GUVNL is ensuring that innovation remains deployment focused and not and utility grade rather than remaining at the proof of concept level. And this approach is significantly reduced. It reduces the adoption risk and accelerates learning both for the utilities as well as the innovators. And at India Smart Grid Forum, we were established in 2011, and since then we've been supporting the different stakeholders in advising and accelerating the smart grid innovations in the power sector. And we've been supporting these startups in 4 key ways. First, the grounding innovation in real utility needs. Through our close association with DISCOMs, we understand, the challenges that they've been facing. We have helped several new technologies from startups from around the globe to be demonstrated with the utilities in India. Startups often struggle with the, to move from the concept to field deployment stage, and ISGF has leveraged its utility network to facilitate pilots from proof of concept trials and demonstration projects to, to work towards critical steps towards the scaling up, and have large scale deployments with the utilities. And through expert groups and international knowledge exchanges, ISGF has supported many startups in aligning solutions solutions and with grid standards, cybersecurity requirements, interoperability norms, and regulatory expectations, which are a key critical area which needs to be addressed before going to the regulator for approval for large-scale deployments. And we've been working very closely with the regulators for formulation of enabling regulations on evolving technologies. I'll give a couple of examples that, four of the states in India have peer-to-peer regulation which of trading of solar rooftop, which is not there in anywhere in the world. And also, one of the states has already issued a poster demonstration that ISGF had conducted for vehicle-to-grid technology. We already have a regulation in 2025 issued by one of the states, and which is also the first of its kind regulation and policy initiative that has come. And so, India is no more, learning only. We are ahead of the curve, and we are, deploying and showcasing to the world also now. And the insights from all the new pilots that were taken forward taken forward regularly to the policymakers with recommendations and helping ensure that the right regulations are there to evolve in time for making the ecosystem ready for the startups to scale up. And in programs like Electron Vibe, ISGF's role is to de-risk innovation for utilities and also de-bottleneck the market entry for the startups. And Gujarat's proactive participation in initiatives like Electron Vibe, it positions the states in as a living lab for India's clean energy transition. And the proposed next steps moving from recognition to techno-commercial pilots supported by seed funding or utility engagement. This is particularly really important key step. And such models from how startups can graduate from accelerators to accelerator programs to real-world implementation, creating replicable solutions for other states and utilities in India. And I would like to emphasize the role of the academic institutions, like we are in the Marwari University, and very happy to be here as part of this program. Academic institutions and training institutions, they play a vital role in nurturing talents that understand not only the technology, but also prepare the professionals for going forward for the kind of innovations and solutions that we need. And the future of the power sector will require skilled professionals who can work at the intersection of engineering, data, and also regulation. And all the students who are present here and startups would like to say that the energy transition is one of the largest transformation opportunity of our generation, and we definitely need all the young ideas, research, and enterprises that needs to be shaped up for India's future and a successful future. And lastly, to close my talk today, I would like to reiterate the fact that achieving net zero will require a sustainable collaboration to build enabling ecosystem comprising of government utilities, startups, academia, and think tanks, and the industry. And once again, commend GVNL for this initiative. It is a strong example of how collaboration can be structured, credible, and impactful, going forward. And ISGF remains, committed to support all these efforts, and by connecting the innovation with implementation and ambition with action. I congratulate all the participating startups and wish this initiative a every success going forward. And thank you so much. I thank GUNL for giving me this opportunity, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Reena Suri ma'am, for your insightful words. This program is not only the symbolic program, it is a deeply evaluated innovation pipeline. So now moving forward to the next one, let me give you the journey of the next speaker. It is Sumit Tate, sir. So Sumit Saje sir is associate partner at Climate Collective, where he leads startup acceleration programs. The Mosambhi ecosystem platform and data system. BTech and MTech gold medalist from ICT Mumbai Summit brings over a decade of experience across green technology and entrepreneurship. He was the previously co-founder of So Food, a profitable plant-based food tech venture, and today his expertise focuses on the intersection of AI for the climate tech, deep tech, and early stage startups. And he has mentored numerous global entrepreneurs in building sustainable innovation. GUNL 3 कोर प्रॉब्लम्स स्टेटमेंट को आइडेंटिफाई किया है जो गुजरात के एनर्जी फ्यूचर के लिए बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है। तो उन 3 प्रॉब्लम सॉल्यूशंस के बारे में बात करने के लिए और कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए आई रिक्वेस्ट श्री सुमित तातेर सर टू प्लीज़ कम हियर एंड मूव फॉरवर्ड दिस प्रोग्राम। थैंक यू।
Presentation.
Presentation. Sir, which one, sir? That one?
Yes.
Sir, 1 second. I will put this.
नहीं डेकन लगा देना ना, प्रेजेंटेशन चाहिए।
Sir. Yeah, it's this one, right? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This presentation. Yes, sir. This is the first phase, right?
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much, Getri. Thank you so much, GUVNL. Thank you, Reena ma'am. Thank you, all the startups, industry colleagues, and everyone present in the room. Today, I am here. I am standing in front of you to take you through the journey of Electron Vibe and Climate Collective Foundation and how we have reached here. It's been a long journey, and I do believe that majority of people in the room are founders, so we know how lonely the journey can be. I myself have been a founder, so I know that it's a very hard journey, and that's where Climate Collective Foundation strives to work with founders, help them, support them in their journey. Before I move on to the Electron Vibe program, I will take a couple of minutes to talk about Climate Collective Foundation. It was started by power entrepreneurs themselves. Pratap and Nalin, they were solar and wind developers. And back in 2010, when probably climate tech wasn't even a word, that time it was clean tech. So they were wind and solar developers. They developed 84 megawatt of projects. So essentially they come with a lot of industry expertise and domain knowledge. Later on, they divested that and moved into innovation. They ran India's first solar hackathon, and since then, they sensed an opportunity. The opportunity that there might be a huge potential for nurturing climate tech ecosystem in India. The founders, like all founders, are always looking for opportunities, but then there is a opportunity cost. So as an ecosystem, we need to give right signals that, hey, there is a huge opportunity overall in climate tech. And that is why you should come and do something in that particular domain. And that's what Pratap and Nalin took on themselves and started with Climate Collective Foundation. It's been 9th year that we are in operation. And we are very proud to say that we have already supported over 1,450 startups across 96 startup acceleration programs. These programs are across energy, power, waste recycling, and other domains. And we have naturally become the largest private early stage startup ecosystem in climate tech domain in India and across Global South. These are the few of the key partnerships that we have developed over period. UNESA, which is Utilities for Net Zero Alliances. This is one of the most critical with the topic that we are talking about. It has already 73 global utilities onboarded onto the platform, and Climate Collective Foundation is a knowledge partner and innovation partner to them. Then we also have third derivative, which is RMI, like RMI and New Energy Nexus partnership. Then Undaunted, Bloomberg, GRP, Waterfield Foundation. These are the few key partnerships that we have developed. In the Electron Vibe, the platform that we are going to talk about today, it's essentially an open innovation platform. I loved when Alka ma'am initially spoke that we need bold experiments, bold ideas, and that's where they come from startups. You can imagine that utilities are critical infrastructure for the country. And that's why it's very, very tough to change anything because the risks are very high. And that's where open innovation provides that right platform to experiment something and deliver. If those experiments are successful, these pilots are successful, then they can create large impact. And that's the approach that Climate Collective takes with the Electron Vibe program. So what we do is we start with utilities, onboard them, and co-curate the problem statements that they are facing in their day-to-day operations. So it's not a hypothetical scenario, but these are the real-world problems. Then based on those problem statements, we do global calls and then select startups. For this current track, GUVNL was the anchor partner, anchor discom for the current track, which was Electron Vibe 2025. And we received tremendous response from startups. Over 67 startups applied, 27 startups were selected, shortlisted, and then we had 9 finalists. So I guess majority of finalists are already here in the room. Even if we are going to facilitate only 3 startups, it doesn't mean that these 3 are the only winner. All 9 and probably all 27 are the worthy solutions that if anyone in the room is interested, we will be happy to share more details about all of those. So going further to talk about this open innovation, here is the schematic that I would want to present. So what Electron Vibe does is they partner with various startups, select the cohort, and then with that cohort, as part of the program, they mentor them, then they work with utility and startups and try to develop the business cases. And then a pilot plan is developed. At the end of the program, these plans are presented to the utilities, which then essentially decide which pilots to be undertaken. And these pilots act as a de-risking step. And if any of these pilots succeeds, then they have large possible impact to create in the overall decarbonization journey of utilities. So this is the entire ecosystem that we are trying to build through a program that we have been running since last 6 years. We are really proud that it's one of its only kind program, not just in India, but globally, that has demonstrated how we can work together with utilities, which is one of the most critical infrastructure and yet very hard to work with, and take startup solutions and show that they can create a positive impact. We already work with 22 utilities. 63 startups have been part of this platform. There have been more than 20 pilots already offered through the platform over last 6 years. And we have also conducted various knowledge sessions and roundtables. This is how it has progressed over last 6 years. And you can clearly see that it has gone from strength to strength. Now we work with various utilities, various startups. We have global startups as a part of the program. Last year, we had one startup from Denmark, which was part of the program. And literally what they told us that Indian utilities are not behind. And they have demonstrated that they are at par. These are the all utilities that are partner, as well as the knowledge partners that we have onboarded, which includes ISGF, Gately, CEW, and many others. And we thank to each and every partner. The problem statements not just are on modernization, but the focus has more and more shifted towards decarbonization as well. and this has resulted into various solutions to be presented, which includes across different domains within the utilities operations like grid optimization, grid monitoring, electric mobility, etc. We have also developed a platform which shows all the startups which are part of these programs over here, and this database of startup solutions is available for everyone to take a look at it. In current finalists, these are the 9 startups which were present. I won't go into much detail right now. Probably we will hear these 3 startups presenting what they have presented as their business cases. But the 3 problem statements were on the smart planning and management of base, rooftop PV integration management, and AI to detect electricity theft. Now we have moved a step beyond, and that's what we would like to assure you, that we are now not just treating it as a program, but we are developing it as a platform, AI for Power platform, where we are taking a 3-step approach, running a program itself, and now it has gone globally. Then we are also developing a AI for Power knowledge hub, where we do a lot of knowledge convenings. And then we have the AI for Power solution. The AI for Power solution has 2 layers. One, the startup solutions that are there already. And then second layer is the data that is there, and new solutions can be developed using this data. So this is the platform that we want to build together. So I request and I assure you that we will take right step to make it probably the global leader in this kind of program, and looking forward to stay connected. And I wish that we continue to work with GUVNL and all other utilities and onboard them onto UNESA as well. Maybe I will stop here and we can now go towards the startup presentation. Thank you. Minutes to present their business case in front of everyone.
This one, right? Yeah, this one. Good afternoon. Thank you, distinguished Reena ma'am and Sumit ji, and GUVNL leadership and distinguished guests. Thank you for giving me opportunity to present our use case here. So the use case that we intend to present is optimal siting, sizing, and operation of BESS at the 11 kV at transformer level. So this is the use case that we have presented. Is it okay? Thank you. So about Smart Grid. Smart Grid Analytics is a technology company. We provide software solutions towards renewable energy sector. And we do have a predictive intelligence for renewable energy operations. We have multiple solutions on for that. And this enables general operators for to do reactive intelligence, reactive operations towards proactive operations. We help using our solutions. We help operators to do the predictive intelligence for renewable energy operations. And here, basically, as per Smart Grid, we have patented digital twin technology where we do DT for solar and DT for BESS technologies are there. For this, what we do is we basically we mimic the hardware, the physical plants and grid information towards a software solution, and we try to forecast the data based on the data analysis that we do it. The next thing is AI-based grid congestion prediction. Also, we do that. Based on this, what we do is we do forecasting of curtailment risk, and we do analysis of the entire data, and we try to forecast the data. And we do have a unified solution which is called EMS SCADA and AI platform, where on-prem EMS solutions will be used, and SCADA can be used for visualization purposes. And we have a cloud-based AI solution called as Aura, and using AI platform, what we can do is we can analyze and forecast the data. And based on the data that is generated by the AI, we make use of the data into the EMS, and we see that the entire end-to-end ecosystem is being used there. Then the next thing is we have already executed 500 plus projects, and we have done already 95 gigawatts of installations. And we do support solar, wind, and BESS hybrid plants and all the installations over there. And next thing is we have multiple clients around the world, and we have already spread across 20 countries so far, and we have executed projects multiply. And we do have 14 patents already applied, and few are already awarded, and few are in process of it. And we are a ISO 27001 certified company, and IEC 62443 certification is in process. So where we do for cyber security and other activities. And Solvin, this is our entire platform solution, which is Solvin. We call it as Solvin. Solvin is a suite of products, and this is a one end-to-end solution where it is integrated and intelligent solution, unified platform. So Solvin is basically, we have multiple modules. One is at the operational and field level. We have Solvin X and then Solvin Studio. Solvin X is basically that collects the data from the fields, and it processes the data and stores the data into the system. And then Solvin Studio is basically that will, which is a low-code, no-code solution. Basically, it analyzes the data that is being collected by the Solvin X, and Solvin Studio will be able to visualize the data using some KPI calculations and all that. And the same data is being pushed to the cloud, and we have a cloud solution which is called as Solvin Studio. So in the Solvin Studio, we can present the data using CMS and CMMS and workflow management systems, and the same data can be available through APIs as well. And this is for the EPM integrations. And we do have a cloud-based Solvin Aura, which is a AI-based, AI/ML-based models, where it will help for forecasting and scheduling of the data. By the data that is being collected by Solvin Studio is being processed, and forecasted and scheduling can be done using Solvin Aura. And we can also do the bid optimization and trading desk and dynamic battery dispatches using Solvin Aura solution. And the entire ecosystem can be configured as at the plant level or at the grid level, and the same data can be analyzed, and entire end-to-end solution can be provided by Smart Grid Analytics. This is about Solvin solution. This is our team here. We have Mr. Kumar, who have 20 plus years of renewable energy and energy sector. And he has a vast experience on the automation, industrial automation. And we have Mr. Venkat Krishnan, who is our CGO, and myself, I take care of software development solutions. Then we do have entire team here, and R&D and technology divisions and power systems projects and procurement, production, IT, cyber security, growth, marketing, and we have entire team of this things to provide the solutions here. Coming to the problem statement that is given to us, basically, if you look at Gujarat is doing great, especially in solar and wind generations. And but whenever it is with these installations, the new installations, what is happening is it creating significant local grid stress and particularly at the 11 kV feeder level. And if you install BESS systems in 66 kV KVs as a pilots, and it will not be able to solve the local issues, especially related to reverse power flows and steep voltage ramps and curtailments. These kind of issues cannot be addressed. So there we have three different issues. One is where this BESS has to be, battery energy storage systems has to be installed, and how big the battery systems has to be there, and how to operate these battery systems, especially in order to maximize the utilization of these installations. So to address these solutions, we do have a ready solution that our intelligent bidding Aura solution is there, and that will help us to address all these issues. So this is we have like I said, this is an as unified platform to answer these solutions. So we have this Solvin and then Aura platform. In this we have two digital twins models which we developed. One is a planner module, which is a DT based digital twin based planner module. Basically what we can do is with the help of the data that has been provided to us, and also the data that we can access for the last year or couple of years of data, by analyzing the data we'll be able to identify the ideal places where BESS can be installed. At the same time we can also we have modules already developed where we can identify the optimal size of the BESS that can be utilized in the systems. So that is the planning module that we have. And the next one is scenario engine, where we can simulate before we deploy the systems, we can simulate the entire process with the help of the data, and we can identify the all the scenarios, even keeping the futures in the mind. And we do have on-prem EMS solution, which is a multi-technology controller, and we do have Solvin Studio dashboards where we will be able to take the inputs that are given by Aura, and we will be able to process the data, and we'll be able to visualize and present the entire data into the system. So that is our solution. And as far as the data that has been collected is, we have collected system level data from GUNL and feeder level data as well, and we try to simulate using our DT core modules, and we try to simulate and we try to understand the system layers of it, how the entire demand generation and net load is happening over there, and analyzing long-term analysis and balance and seasonal patterns, and we try to analyze this data. And of course, this is entire thing is a blueprint level that we have done, and we do have feeder level module, DT module, that we have used for at the feeder level, where wherever there are large penetration of PV solar power generations, we try to identify what are the ideal places where the BESS can be utilized there. So this analysis has been done. And we try to, one of the use cases that we identified is Vagodia Road feeder data, where we have identified some mismatches in this 10 over. Oh, okay, shoot. The presentation, so in this we identified large gaps in the data. So to address these gaps, so this is what is our finding. Especially what happens whenever there is a huge generation of the solar is there, at that time there is no much demand is there. So due to that, what happens, it ends in curtailments, and solar spill is happening over there. And whenever there is expensive peak power demands are there, during that time there is no sufficient power is available. And so the study of this is basically what happens when you do the peak power demand situations, your purchase power, the purchase of your power will be more, and you end up in spending a lot of revenue on it. And to address this, what we have done is the ideal solution for this is use a hardware and identify the best, right best systems and install the best systems. And using Aura, we will be able to identify what are the ideal time slots for, by analyzing the historical data, what are the best time slots for charging, what are the time slots for the discharging, and we will be able to auto-generate this 96 time slots of the data, and the same data can be fed to our EMS on-prem controllers. The on-prem controller can coordinate with Aura from the cloud level, and it can extract the data, and it tries to operate the system based on the schedules that has been given by Aura. So this is the solution that we have identified, and with this there will be significant savings will be there. And this is our strategic blueprint modernization. So we try to identify 4 different substations and the feeder level areas. And the advantage of using the solution, that the proposed solution is you can monetize the wasted solar that is done in Vagodia Road, where using Aura actions between 12:15 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. you are able to save 51.5 megawatts of power, and you are going to store the data into the battery. And when there is a peak power is there, during that time you will be able to discharge the power so that your revenue can be, you can save the revenues, and it also saves a lot of curtailment losses and revenue stabilizations. And another value proposition is, if you look at the aggregated load of another station, that is Rambagh and Tarsila. So there is 155.60 megawatt duration during 7 to 22 hours, and the similar formulas that we have mentioned in the Aura that has been that is used there. If you can use that, what happens is, in these peak hours, if you discharge the BESS, so you will be able to loads 80%. You can transformer load can be reduced to 80%, and this can save your further future installations into the system. And this is our proposal, which is given. There are 3 phases of the development. Sorry. Yeah, it's the last one. So our phase 1 is basically we proposed in Parambagh 11 kV output. We will be able to study the entire historical data, as well as the data that we can analyze it, and we can propose the ideal BESS sizes. And once the BESS is installed over there, and with the help of EMS systems, we will be able to run a pilot and see that how effectively this is working. And so then we can start the automation of charging and discharging in 13 weeks of time. So this is the proposed thing, and thank you so much for giving us the opportunity in order to provide it. Thank you.
Second one. And Prabha. Next startup, Prabha. We will have 10 minutes only. Sorry for. Huh.
First slide. Resume. Yes. Okay. Yes. No. No. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. We are Prabha and we are building the AI operating system for the electric grid. So we are experts in power systems, machine learning, and weather. So let me introduce my colleagues here. My colleague Aman he's done his PhD in applied math and he's currently a weather scientist at Stanford. Dhruv has done his PhD in machine learning, applied to power systems, also at Stanford. Mohak is a former economist who has done his MBA from Stanford. I am not from Stanford, but I am the AI engineer for the team, and I am an expert in building AI models. I'm from MIT. So we are building the AI stack for Indian discoms, which has 4 pillars. Number 1 is network mapping, which is also commonly known as building the digital twin for the grid. Then we have load and renewable forecasting at system and feeder levels. Third is AI weather forecasts, and fourth is load flow models to reduce AT&C losses. So we are already working with major utilities across the world. In India, for example, we are already working with MSCDCL in Maharashtra, TNPDCL in Tamil Nadu, BRPL in Delhi, and also UPPCL in Uttar Pradesh. Our work has garnered us recognition from the top tech leaders. OpenAI gave us an award at the recent OpenAI hackathon. Google recognized us as one of the most promising startups in the AI for energy space. And NVIDIA also recognized us for our novel machine learning approach. We were also given the first prize by Shri Manohar Lal Khattar, the Honorable Power Minister, at the recent AI and ML conference in the power distribution sector. Okay, enough about us. Let's come to the problem at hand. So Gujarat is leading India in rooftop solar adoption, and it has already installed more than 5 lakh systems already. However, this has created 3 operational challenges. That is difficulty in procuring power because of inaccurate forecasting, reverse power flow issues, and voltage management issues. According to our own analysis, these 3 problems combined cost Gujarat upwards of 500 crores every single year, and this figure will keep on increasing every single year. And this is exactly the problem that we are trying to solve. So we use advanced machine learning models to solve this problem in 3 steps. First, even if Gujarat does not have accurate data, we use Stanford's deep solar technology to estimate how much rooftop solar there is. Second, we build the AI weather model forecasts to estimate how much solar there would be. And finally, we calculate the risk that the solar can create for the grid, and then we recommend our actions to minimize that risk. So using our technology, basically just to summarize, we are answering the 3 core questions. Number 1, how much rooftop solar does Gujarat have? Number 2, how much solar generation will take place? And number 3, the most important one, is how much additional rooftop solar can be installed safely? So just to show you the tech that I've been talking about, it's not theoretical. So we have already deployed Stanford's deep solar model to Rajkot, the city that we are in right now. And we are estimating the number of rooftop solar panels in the city using high resolution satellite imagery. So using high resolution satellite imagery, we have automatically identified and characterized the rooftop solar panels in Rajkot. And using this technology, we have created Gujarat's first ever solar rooftop PV map. So the screenshot that you see, it's a snapshot of the rooftop solar map of Rajkot. We are also building a custom AI weather model to accurately forecast Gujarat's weather. So on your screen, you can see the top weather models in the world right now, but they have a problem. They are not very accurate at predicting local weather. And the reason that they are not very accurate is because they have not been trained on enough India weather data. So if you can see, for example, ForecastNet is the model by NVIDIA, GraphCast is the model by Google, but our testing has showed us that they are not very accurate at the local level. So to solve this, we are building our own model, and we are combining the best global AI weather models and training them, basically fine-tuning them on Indian weather data. So by combining satellite detection and AI weather models, we can accurately predict the solar generation. So now we have answered the first two questions, that is how much rooftop solar there is using Stanford's deep solar tech, and how much solar generation there would be by making our own weather model. So now let's come to the third question, is how much rooftop solar can be installed safely? So for this, we do something called as the scenario analysis. First scenario is normal solar adoption. Second scenario is 50% higher adoption, and third scenario is 200% higher adoption. For a small part of the grid, we found that at normal adoption, overvoltage is limited. At 50% more adoption, overvoltage becomes more widespread. And at 200% more adoption, nearly all customers experience high voltage. This allows us to understand what will happen to the grid if more rooftop solar is adopted and give recommendations to minimize the risk for Gujarat. So a few days ago, PM Modi met AI startups and told them that they need to build not only for India, but for the world. This is exactly what we are doing. We are working with Germany's largest energy provider called E.ON to help them understand how much rooftop solar is adopted in their territory. So what you see on screen is a snapshot of a town in eastern Germany where our technology is deployed. So we've done a small pilot with GUVNL, but honestly, sir, we did not come here just for the pilot in Rajkot. We want to get a contract and implement our tech across the entire state of Gujarat. And for that, I'm asking for your support. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I now ask CPC Analytics to come on stage to present their solution.
Okay, so I think this will be even quicker than the second one. Take it, sure. All right, so we were working on the problem of electricity theft and fraud at GUNL. This was problem with the problem that was given, and Essentially, the problem boiled down to how do we use AI and machine learning for reducing theft and fraud, right? And the core idea behind this was fairly simple, that there is a business problem where few percentage. So every utility in India basically loses some percentage points to theft, fraud, etc. This, as I understood, in GUNL estimated at some 5-6%, and essentially it becomes a cat and mouse thing for any theft that is occurring. That the moment the police start using fingerprinting, the criminals start using gloves, right? So it always becomes a cat and mouse game, and that kind of makes it more complex. Of course, actually, similar to any other let's say theft and fraud case. So we have fortunately worked with a few in other spaces as well. There is also some internal collusion that is sometimes involved, right? So it may not be maybe your own employees, but some third party, etc., that you're kind of contracting with, etc. Right? But yeah, so and obviously the scale is so huge that physically checking each of these connections is impossible and probably counterproductive as well. So therefore, how do we move from a reactive system? So there is a fairly robust way in which Gujarat has managed to reduce it to a certain level. So how do we kind of make it to a proactive and an AI-based prevention method, right? So that was more or less the goal of let's say this particular problem statement, and therefore the goal for us became this. So when I say us, it is basically my company CPC Analytics, which had worked on this. How do we detect, reduce, and prevent fraud, right? So electricity theft and the resultant revenue losses. So detect, reduce, and try and prevent this either from doing, let's say, some changes, internal changes, or changes in the marketplace, right? And therefore, since there is, I think since there is a setup already in place in each utility in India, what it also becomes important is that it doesn't remain at the level of, let's say, some software throwing up some alerts, but it becoming actionable insights for whichever person is going to take action within the electricity utility, right? So this is more or less the let's say the goals for us, and therefore. I would say that one is, of course, what is the kind of data that you're analyzing, because you don't want to invest too much again in data gathering. So what is the kind of data that you would want to invest in, and let's say build an intelligent layer on top of the data, right? Yeah, so I'll just, so we kind of had first done this with in Tamil Nadu, where we delivered, so when we had rolled out in Tamil Nadu, we delivered a few 100 crores worth of savings for them, which was obviously much higher than, whatever cost we had put it in, right? And the tech behind this is fairly, I would say, the tech behind this is fairly, I would say, modular tech that we have kind of developed. That there are a range of 7 analytical modules that we run, ranging from, let's say, feeder and DT analytics to, let's say, enterprise verification, to, let's say, event-based detection, individual behavioral, category behavioral anomalies, etc. So and then there is a rules engine that kind of helps bring it all into one place, and also can help you detect known fraud patterns. So this results in a unified risk scoring and prioritized action list. So ultimately, whoever is working within GUVNL, they would kind of get a prioritized action list to work on, and that is more or less what the promise is, right? And therefore, I kind of say that, okay, we actually don't sell software, which is a kind of a strange statement to make when we are talking about AI and ML solutions. But the reason why I say is this, that obviously it has to be customized, right? So we kind of train some of these models and use whatever insights we have. And one of the ways that we do that is we actually hit the ground and try and understand some of these problems around theft and detection itself. So to some extent, of course, it is going to be something which is going to be common to all of the utilities, but to a large extent, we kind of also customize it, right? So this is more or less, I would say, it. And therefore, a lot of the solutions are deeply customized, by trying to do a partnership with the utility technology. Yeah. Cool. So I'm at the end of the presentation. Any questions? I think I've kept it super quick because we would be expecting a much better person to come and speak here, is what I've been told. So, great. So I think that's more or less it. Thank you for the Climate Collective thing. Thank you to GUVNL team. Thank you, ma'am. Kandarp, of course, has been super helpful, and Rishi is not here. So thanks all. झालं?
थैंक यू सो मच ऑल द स्पीकर्स। और जैसे यहाँ से बताया कि कुछ ही पलों में हमारे कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर हमारे बीच आने वाले हैं। वाइब्रेंट गुजरात का मंच हमेशा से ही इन्वेस्टमेंट और इंडस्ट्री के साथ इनोवेशन और एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का रहा है, और उसमें भी आज वाइब्रेंट गुजरात रीजनल समिट का ये दूसरा चरण है, जो सौराष्ट्र और कच्छ के एंटरप्रेन्योर्स और जितने भी इनोवेशन करने वाले व्यक्ति हैं उनके लिए बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण रहने वाला है। आइए अब आमंत्रित करते हैं हमारे गणमान्य स्पीकर्स को, उनको स्मृति चिन्ह देके उनको सम्मानित करेंगे। सबसे पहले आई रिक्वेस्ट रीना सूरी मैम कि आप मंच पर आइए, और आई रिक्वेस्ट डायरेक्टर ऑफ गेट3 अलका यादव मैडम टू प्लीज़ फेलिसिटेट रीना सूरी मैम। तालियों के साथ स्मृति चिन्ह जब दे तब हम सब उनका तालियों से सम्मान करें। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर presence here and your insightful words, मैम। रीना मैम का मार्गदर्शन हमें सदैव ही यूज़फुल रहेगा। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आज का ये सेशन एक स्पिरिट को आगे बढ़ाता है कि जहाँ पे स्टार्टअप्स और क्रेडिबिलिटी, विजिबिलिटी और ग्रोथ पाथवे मिलता है, अलाइन विद गुजरात डेवलपमेंट स्टोरी। नाउ आई रिक्वेस्ट टू प्लीज़ कम ऑन द स्टेज सुमित तातेर सर। आपका फेलिसिटेशन करने के लिए आई रिक्वेस्ट कंदर मिस्त्री जी कि आपके हाथों से आप सम्मान करेंगे हमारे दूसरे स्पीकर सुमित तातेर सर का। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आज जितने भी हमारे कीनोट स्पीकर्स थे उन्होंने हम सबको मार्गदर्शित किया है, और आज स्टार्टअप का ये सेमिनार है, ये टेक्नोलॉजी प्रोवाइडर का ही नहीं बल्कि सॉल्यूशन आर्किटेक्ट का है, जैसे कि बैटरी एनर्जी स्टोरेज, रूफटॉप सोलर इंटीग्रेशन एंड एआई बेस्ड थेफ्ट डिटेक्शन। ये तीनों ही विषय गुजरात की एनर्जी के फ्यूचर कहे जाते हैं। द क्वालिटी ऑफ सॉल्यूशन शोज दैट इंडियाज क्लाइमेट टेक इकोसिस्टम इज रेडी फॉर हाई स्केल। और थोड़ी ही देर में हमारे बीच हमारे कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर श्री ऋषिकेश पटेल जी और हमारे राज्य मंत्री श्री कौशिक वेकरिया जी पधारने वाले हैं, और उनके हाथों से आज जो विनर्स हैं और जो फाइनलिस्ट हैं उनको आज सम्मानित करेंगे, उनको फेलिसिटेट करेंगे। आज का ये सेमिनार हम सब के लिए बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण इसलिए भी होता है क्योंकि गुजरात ने पूरे देश को एक दिशा दर्शन कहा है। जैसे आज और कल माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री मोदी जी ने कहा था कि गुजरात है वो भारत का ग्रोथ इंजन है, और गुजरात का ग्रोथ इंजन राजकोट बन रहा है। इसीलिए वाइब्रेंट गुजरात रीजनल समिट का ये दूसरा चरण आज राजकोट में हो रहा है। तो ऐसे ही हम आगे बढ़ते रहे, सौराष्ट्र कच्छ के जितने भी एंटरप्रेन्योर्स हैं, इनोवेटर्स हैं, उन सबको एक नई दिशा देने के लिए वाइब्रेंट गुजरात रीजनल समिट का आयोजन किया गया है। कुछ ही पलों में हमारे माननीय मंत्री महोदय श्री हमारे बीच होंगे, तब तक के लिए थोड़ी प्रतीक्षा। आई रिक्वेस्ट सुमित तातेड़ सर कि आप आइए और जब तक हमारे पास टाइम है हम थोड़ा क्वेश्चन आंसर सेशन को आगे बढ़ाते हैं. सुमित तातेड़ सर.
थैंक यू. जब तक कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर सर आते हैं तब तक हमारे पास कुछ टाइम है, तो we can now ask our questions to the startups which presented their solutions. So anyone in the audience that may have any question to the three startups that they presented, Smart Grid, Prabha, or CPC Analytics? Yeah, I would request all three founders to come on the stage, so it will be much easier for our audience to remember and ask the certain questions. Please have a seat till then. Audience is going to ask. Any question from the audience? Yeah. My first question to maybe Prava, you have already done some amazing work. What is the most difficult part while working in Indian infrastructure as per your view?
Indian infrastructure
Compared to the other global locations where you are already deploying your solutions, and how we can improve?
I would say the challenges in India and worldwide are pretty much similar.
Hello.
They're not very different. Hello. Yes. So what I was saying was the challenges in working in India and worldwide are pretty much similar, not very different. I would say, like we are working with the provider in Germany, E.ON. The only difference that you find is that they are a little more organized with their data that they have. And when we are working with Indian discoms, they have similar amounts of data, but it's just not organized in single one place. So data collection can be a challenge, but it's not something that prevents us from doing our work. So yeah, like for example, if I have to give an example, we were in the Gujarat, we were in the solar track, right? Rooftop solar track. So we did not get any data about the rooftop solar. So we had to find a technology that can do that for us. So which is why when I said in my presentation also that we deployed the Stanford's deep solar model. So we build that data on our own first, and then we solve the problem. So, there are challenges like these, but nothing that you can't overcome.
Yeah, I'm sure. In fact, I do suggest you should get in touch with C-Step. They already have done some amazing work in terms of mapping solar PV, etc.
Okay.
I don't know whether they have done it across India or specific regions, but they have done some amazing work.
Okay, sure. Fine.
Happy to connect you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Maybe to Omkar, you have in past worked as a public policy consultant as well, and now probably trying to, work as a solution provider. My question to you is when you are trying to solve a problem which discom face in terms of theft detection, how easy it is to balance the what consumers need, any drastic change that government or system tries to bring, people are very much apprehensive because they fear that it might result into something.
Yeah, I don't think I'm getting to speak today, so.
So yeah, maybe you can answer that aspect.
Sorry, can you just repeat the question?
So how do you try to balance the common man's emotions while bringing up new systems which will essentially improve the overall system, but there will be always apprehension by common man to introduce any new system?
So because we were working in fraud and theft detection, actually what happened was that we were exposed to a large range of problems that in some ways there is obviously an incentive system that is created that enables fraud, right? So for instance, there are some consumers who obviously know that they're stealing electricity. I don't think we need to be too kind to them, but let's say there are things like tariff structure, right? So the tariff structure is built in a way that, let's say, I would say that any classical model of economics would kind of find it defying that how are we able to build such a tariff structure. But obviously those come with certain challenges, right? So specifically in Tamil Nadu, we had a range of things which are not specifically related to data analytics, which were related to let's say even internal functioning of employees. So I'll give you some small example that there was something that we were talking about, which we were saying that okay, a few thousand of your employees, if you install this particular app, we kind of develop it. We will give you. It will kind of help you reduce fraud. But then the question for them, or rather the question for the union which was working in that particular organization became that who is going to pay for the 5 MBs of data that this is going to consume every day, right? And therefore, and obviously that was not the real reason, that was the stated reason, but the real reason was that they also did not want a check which is going to happen on them, right? So the moment, one way in which at least my public policy background kind of helps me is in understanding these kind of let's say organizational problems which are very different from the earlier private sector companies that I had worked for, right? So the public sector organizations fairly complex, fairly prone to fraud, and not entirely within the control of any government or any political establishment which is trying to do that. So yeah.
Okay, nice.
थैंक यू सो मच सुमित सर एंड थैंक यू सो मच ऑल आर प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट जिन्होंने दिया था विनर्स. आई रिक्वेस्ट आर अतिथि विशेष आर डिग्निटरीज टू प्लीज बी ऑन द स्टेज. प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरी एनर्जी एंड पेट्रोकेमिकल्स डिपार्टमेंट श्री अश्विनी कुमार जी और जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी ईपीडी वाला सर, आई रिक्वेस्ट टू प्लीज़ कम हियर ऑन द स्टेज. एक बार ज़ोरदार तालियों के साथ उनको हम मंच पर विराजमान होने के लिए आमंत्रित करते हैं. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. Now I'll request Alka Yadav ma'am, Director of Gatri, to please brief the event and program highlight. Alka Yadav ma'am.
Respected Principal Secretary, sir, and the Joint Secretary, sir, from Energy and Petrochemical Department. So just wanted to brief you up, and we'll continue, sir. So this is the Electron White 2025, for which GUVNL was the anchor discom. And we had, after multiple sessions along with Climate Collective Foundation, we had come zeroed down to 3 problem statements, which was problem statement number 1 was smart planning and management of battery energy storage systems. Second was on rooftop PV integration management. And third was AI to detect electricity theft. So these were the 3 problem statements which were then shot across to all the startups across. It was a global call, actually. Climate Collective Foundation did this. And there was a very strong, very good response which we received from the startup ecosystem. So over the months then, the startups were scrutinized and we zeroed down to 9 startups, 3 for each problem statement, and they were asked to work on it. Finally, a jury comprising of very senior officers from GUVNL went through them. The startups and the entrepreneurs presented their solutions to them, and the jury has come up with the winners now, 1 each for each problem statement. So we, just before you arrived, sir, the 3 winners have presented their solutions to us. So we would be very glad if you could felicitate the winners, as well as we wanted also felicitate all the 9 finalists. 3 are winners. Out of the 6, few have been able to join us. The rest of them, their certificates will be sending them by post or through Climate Collective Foundation. So yes, ma'am, can you please take over? Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Dreaming is the start, but doing is the art. Today we honor the brilliance that sets you apart. आज थोड़ी देर पहले प्रेजेंटेशन जो हम सब ने देखी वो साबित करती है कि इंडिया स्टार्टअप्स आर नॉट जस्ट फ्यूचर रेडी, दे आर द फ्यूचर डिफाइनिंग. GUVNL के सीनियर अधिकारियों की क्रॉस फंक्शनल जूरी ने कुछ पैरामीटर्स और डिटेल्ड इवैल्यूएशन किया है और उसके बाद हमें विनर्स मिले हैं. सो विदाउट टेकिंग मच ऑफ योर टाइम हम निवेदन करेंगे हमारे माननीय अतिथि श्री अश्विनी कुमार जी और वाला सर को कि आपके कर कमलों से विनर्स को आप सम्मानित करें. सबसे पहले प्लीज गिव अ ह्यूज राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज फॉर स्मार्ट ग्रिड एनालिटिक्स प्राइवेट लिमिटेड, Maleshwar Reddy and Deepak Das. And the problem statement is smart planning and management of BESS. बहुत तालियां होनी चाहिए. हम ऑनर करने जा रहे हैं ऐसे ब्रिलियंस को कि जिन्होंने सबसे अलग काम करके आज विनिंग स्टेटमेंट दुनिया के सामने रखा है. स्टार्टअप्स को प्रोत्साहित करने के लिए इस सम्मान समारोह का आयोजन किया गया है. बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन. नाउ लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड. प्लीज गिव अ ह्यूज राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज फॉर प्रभा अमेय माने रूफटॉप्स पीवी इंटीग्रेशन मैनेजमेंट. एक बार जोरदार तालियां होनी चाहिए. फॉर द प्रभा इज द नेम ऑफ स्टार्टअप. द यंग टैलेंट, द यंग ब्रिलियंस जो गुजरात को आगे बढ़ाते हैं, स्टार्टअप्स एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप की एक नई पहचान बन रहे हैं. बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन. And give a huge round of applause for the third winner, CPC Analytics, Omkar Sathe. The problem statement is AI to detect electrifying theft. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. आज का यह रिकॉग्निशन सिर्फ एक पुरस्कार नहीं है बट इट इज़ अ पायलट अपॉर्चुनिटी एंड रियल डिप्लॉयमेंट की दिशा में पहला कदम है. आप सभी स्टार्टअप वाइब्रेंट गुजरात के इस विजन को साकार कर रहे हैं जहां पॉलिसी, टेक्नोलॉजी एंड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप एक साथ आगे बढ़ते हैं. नाउ इट इज़ टाइम टू कॉल अपॉन द स्टेज द फाइनलिस्ट ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर स्टार्टअप्स. सबसे पहले हम यहाँ पर बुलाना चाहते हैं फॉर द प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट रूफटॉप्स पीवी इंटीग्रेशन एंड मैनेजमेंट and the startup name is Fornex and Tech Private Limited. I request to come here Mr. Rohit Patel. Mr. Rohit Patel, I request the dignitaries to please felicitate by giving the certificate. Fornex and Tech Private Limited, Mr. Rohit Patel. For the next, the same problem statement, I'll request to please come on the stage Mr. Kushal Likhi, and the startup name is Volt Brew Smart Tech Private Limited. I'll request Ashwini Kumarji, Wala sir, and Alka ma'am to please join this in the felicitation ceremony. Now moving to the next problem statement, that is the AI to detect electricity theft. And in that, the Zeed IO Private Limited, I request to come on the stage Mr. Kanishka Shah. एक बार जोरदार तालियां होनी चाहिए Mr. Kanishka Shah. Many congratulations to all. And with the same problem statement, AI to detect electricity theft, I'll request to be here on the stage Mr. Sikindar Reddy, and the startup name is Coral Innovations Private Limited. Thank you so much, sir. Today's session is giving us the message that net zero is not a single solution. It is a shared responsibility. GUVNL, Climate Collective Foundation and participating startups का यह कोलैबोरेशन पूरे देश और गुजरात के लिए एक बेंचमार्क बन रहा है. इस कार्यक्रम में अब मैं निवेदन करूंगी सुमित तातेर सर को फॉर द आभार प्रस्ताव एंड वोट ऑफ थैंक्स.
Respected dignitaries, guests, innovators, partners, and member in the audience. आपका ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं लूँगा. I know we have been going for a long time. As we come to the conclusion of today's program, I would want to thank people without whom this today's event would have been not possible. First and foremost, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to Shri Ashwini Kumarji, Principal Secretary, IAS, Energy and Petrochemical Department, Government of Gujarat, for his leadership, vision, and continued support towards innovation, transformation in energy sector. I would also equally like to thank Shri Ashish Wala Sirji, IAS, Joint Secretary and MD of PGVCL, for his encouragement to drive the ecosystem for technology-driven solution in the power sector. Our heartfelt thanks to Ms. Reena Suri, Executive Director, ISGF, a key partner for Electron Pipe Program, for her valuable insight and continued support and engagement for the program. I would also like to thank Ms. Alka Yadav, Director Gatri, for her leadership, technical guidance and constant support, and ensuring that Electron 2025 was like literally from the start to end, it was a huge success because of her constant support. We would also like to appreciate the startup present who are at the heart of this initiative. We thank the entire Electron Vibe 2025 GUVNL cohort, Climb AI Cleantech Private Limited, Smart Grid Analytics Private Limited, EarthSync Technologies Private Limited, Prabha, Fornex Enertech Private Limited, Voltbrew Smart Tech Private Limited, CPC Analytics, Coral Innovations Private Limited, Exceed IO Private Limited. Your solutions, commitment, and readiness to engage with real-world utility challenges truly reflect the spirit of innovation this program stands for. We would also want to thank entire GUVNL team for the constant engagement, support to make this Electron Vibe 2025 track a huge success. Last but not least, we would like to thank again Ms. Alka Yadav ji, Mr. Kandab ji, and their dedicated and hardworking team with whom we interacted with since the first Gatri showcase in March 2025. We are also thankful to Vibrant Gujarat Regional Summit and Marwadi University, and we thank everyone in the audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I request all the winners and finalists to please come here on the stage for a group photo, for the memories for the future, memories for the life. हमारे बीच एनर्जी एंड पेट्रोकेमिकल्स डिपार्टमेंट गुजरात ऑफ गवर्नमेंट के प्रिंसिपल सेक्रेटरी श्री अश्विनी कुमार जी एंड ईपीडी जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी वाला सर एंड अलका मैम, और साथ ही सभी विनर्स एंड सभी फाइनलिस्ट स्टेज पर आ जाए. आज के सत्र में हम सब यहाँ से संकल्प लेते हैं कि आत्मनिर्भर भारत के साथ साथ आत्मनिर्भर गुजरात बनाने की ओर हम सब आगे बढ़ेंगे. एनर्जी लीडरशिप में गुजरात पहले भी आगे था, आज भी आगे है, और उसी का ये परिणाम है कि वाइब्रेंट गुजरात रीजनल समिट उसके हिस्सेदार हम सब बन पाए हैं. Net zero ambition can be achieved only when the innovation is rooted in the real utility needs, जिनको हम सब ने साबित किया है. वंस अगेन एक बार तालियों के साथ बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करते हैं. थैंक यू सो मच सर. थैंक यू. Thank you. उसमें क्या होता है? ये बेसिकली